Today I got one of my favorite handguns that I own and that I think I've fired. Got the Colt model 1917 double action service revolver. This was originally made as a civilian model by Colt, and I think Smith & Wesson had their large frame as well. But in 1917, when we got involved in World War I, the U.S. military couldn't afford to keep up their production in 1911s, with the growing military. So since these were already being made, they were cheaper, faster, and more economical to produce. They decided to start manufacturing these in large numbers and taking some of the older civilian models and converting them into a different cylinder, which this particular case, it fires a 45 ACP, requires half moon clips back then, but these are the full moon or full clips. They're just faster and easier. I have a couple of the half moons, but I can't find them. So these things required the 45 ACP cartridge to be on a clip itself to work correctly. After the war, they came out with the 45 auto rim, which is just this with a rim on it, so you can use it without the clips. These things were very, very effective, since most people knew how to use revolvers back then and weren't really familiar with the 1911. So all ranks carried these, from the private all the way up until field grade officers. Fires 6 rounds, breaks open just like any other revolver of the time and kind of modern does. It's either single action or double action. The double action, it's not that bad, but it still requires you to focus on your target and it's not as accurate. So today we're going to be shooting this at intermediate pistol distances, 10, 12, 15 yards, and show you how accurate it is with slow fire and then rapid fire on the double action. So right now, without further ado, we'll actually get to the shooting. I'll show you how to load this and we'll fire some rounds off. I'm going to grab a few of these. We'll go over here. We'll stand at about 10 yards. I'll just kind of show you how it groups. I'm going to throw the 6 rounds in. We're going to do a single action just to kind of show you the accuracy. Okay, we'll walk up here really quick. And be advised that I'm really not the best pistol shooter in the world. So for me to get this group is actually pretty good. That's about 2.5 inches, 3 inches. That was the first one, flyer. But the last 5 were right here. So it could be my trigger pull while they're left. But I'd still say that's a decent enough group at 10 yards to be effective. And yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with this. These are 230 grain full metal jacket, Silver Bear. Good cheap ammo. Not reloadable, but it does its job. So we'll let the old man do it now and see how he can group. Now we're going to be standing at about 10 yards again with the old man, loading 6 in. And he's going to do the single action because he can group pretty well. Just take your time with this one. Should be it, right? Just make sure. I think that was 6. Yeah. Guess I can't count today. Yep, alright. It's at about 10 yards. All the hits were on target. And got some in the bullseye. I think he Robin Hooded a couple of these through the same hole. 2, 4, 5, must have been 6 up there, but yeah, this is one hell of a firearm. Really accurate. You can see why the guys really liked it back in the day, and still to this day. Just an awesome little gun. Now we're gonna kind of, on these 2 targets, I'm gonna go back and forth. Actually, yeah, I'm just gonna do these 2 targets really quick and go back and forth, put 2 into each one. Or I'm sorry, 3 into each one. God, just math today is not, I can't count, I can't do math. I'm going to put 3 into each one, go from one to the other, and show you how it works, like on double action, and I'll do a couple single actions in there, but we'll kind of go for speed and accuracy. So we're going to do double action on the first one, standing at about 10 yards. So as you can kind of see, the double action opens up the group a lot more because it is kind of a long pull. I'd say it's about 9.5, 10 pounds on there. Not as bad as an Nagant revolver, but I mean, those are still on target. Got a bullseye right there, really close to the bullseye on there, and then kind of pulled that one. So now we'll go back and I'll do 6 more as fast as I can. Kind of had a malfunction on the one. I don't know why it skipped the around, maybe because I didn't pull the trigger back all the way. But and then to unload this with the clips, even the half moon clips, it works the same. Just open up the cylinder, you push on the extractor, and the whole thing falls out, and you're good for another 6. So here we go. Okay. Nice. So on this one, I'm still on the left, but that's still kind of a hit at 10 yards, a really close range. I think I got two right there. I don't know how big that was before, but I think, do you think I hit that again?
It's possible.
All right, well, whatever. We'll just say I hit down here for the video. Haven't reviewed it yet, but yeah. So anyway, even with the double action, it's still really accurate for, you know, as much as you have to pull and stuff. Obviously, it's more accurate with single action, but I'm pretty impressed with this thing. It's one of my favorite guns to shoot. So we're just gonna keep going with some trigger time. I think for this one, I'm gonna actually group on the last target as double action. I'll take my time with it a little bit, but nevertheless, I'll still squeeze every round. So we'll get that done. Yeah, it's a little harder, but so probably because of the strain I'm putting on my hand, I'm not used to really shooting double action. It's shot left, but it opened up a bit from the single. That just kind of shows you the little difference between the double and the single action. Both are feasible, especially at close range, which is why this thing was, you know, liked a lot by the soldiers. It was familiar to operate. You know, it was a revolver because the 1911 and most semi-automatic pistols at that time were still a new concept. So you wouldn't have a lot of people that are super familiar with them. So it's just a hell of a lot easier to issue them a revolver that happens to fire the same cartridge that your standard sidearm does, and just, you know, provide the half moon clips, which came on big sticks, and they just load them up themselves and then toss them when they were done. But yeah, it's a excellent pistol. We're gonna try and do some faster shooting now, moving from target to target, and we'll see how she does. Old man wants to try the double action. Forgot about that. See if he can get it in the bullseye. We're just gonna use the same target and kind of see where the rounds were. Yeah. Yeah, so he's got 4, 6, 4 up here. I think he was shooting a little high.
Shooting high, yeah.
But still, it's a pretty good group for double action pistol, and that wasn't exactly slow, it wasn't fast. And yeah, it's a really effective little handgun. So now we'll move on to the faster shooting stuff. A couple little things I forgot to mention about this. This one's made by Colt, as you can see right there. And these were also manufactured by Smith & Wesson in smaller numbers, so you'll see them made by both. This barrel, I don't know if the barrel itself or the frame was actually civilianized at one point, but I know the barrel was. You can see that it was chambered in 455 Ely, and then 45 Colt, and then 45 ACP for the military. well, I'm sure the chamber size is all the same, but the cylinder had to have been reamed out for 45 ACP. So, yeah, just making a little note of that. Let you know that Colt wasn't the only one that manufactured these. The front sight's weird. I think this is because it's a civilian barrel. It's got kind of the cutout in the back, whereas a lot of the military models were just a full round sight. I don't know if that was modified by a person or what, but nevertheless, it's there. So we'll get back to the shooting now. This one I'm going to start at about 20 yards, and I'm going to work my way in with the reload and see how we can do with the rounds on target. I'll do some single, some double action, whatever is more convenient. I'll just try and get them on there as fast as possible while walking and such. So we'll start out with the single action. Okay. So you can see the reload doesn't take that long with those clips. If you had to load each round individually, it'd take forever. And it'd be a pain in the ass, but I was able to get that reloaded, and I'm not really that good at it. I'm kind of an amateur. So if you practice, you could probably do it a lot faster, just whoosh, bam. But anyways, so let's count these really quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I got 9 on target out of 12 rounds, walking and shooting. It's pretty comfortable. It's big, but you know, it got big hands, so it kind of fits pretty well. Double action though, I'm sure a lot of them went off to the left, which is why, but I still, 3, 6, 9, got a bullseye out of it. So that hit exactly where you needed it to, where you were aiming. But those are still all center mass debilitating shots at, between 20 and about 7 where I stopped. So it's a really good pistol. It can, the only drawback is really it holds 6 rounds versus the 1911 holding 8 with one in the tube. But, if you're familiar with it and you can use it, that really doesn't matter. If you need to get your target down, you aim and fire and your target's down, doesn't matter how many rounds you can hold unless you've got a million of them around you. But again, reload's not that bad. I'd say for the average Joe, it's about as fast as reloading a 1911. You gotta pull the magazine out of the 1911, slap it in, and charge it or hit the slide release. This one, and you just pull it out, pop it, and you got 6 more. So I mean, even with the untrained soldier that was not super proficient, I understand the half moon clips take longer, but I'm just kind of representing the reload process itself. And yeah, again, I love this pistol. It's one of my favorites. It's got a hell of a lot of history behind it. This one was made in 1917. As per, I ran the serial number on the hilt, which is what you're supposed to do for the military versions. Military versions will say U.S. Army model 1917 on the hilt right there. And it's got different serial numbers on it, which is what leads me to believe it was a civilian model. This particular one was a civilian model before it became a military service revolver. These served through the end of World War II. The holsters you're going to see for them that are right-handed are going to be from World War II, and the ones they used for these in World War I, the holsters, were all the left-handed cavalry ones. So you're not going to see a right-handed holster unless they custom-made one. They took a 1911 holster and kind of took the flap off or something. But you'll see a lot of these in the cross draw position, or they'll be right here, but they'll be a left-handed holster, so they'll be flipped around. Either way, I guess they worked. They wanted as many guys to carry sidearms as possible, and this was the most prevalent and common one of the American Expeditionary Force. Very well liked, very, very reliable, accurate, which is why it served through both World Wars. And you can see here, obviously, me not being that good at shooting, especially handguns, I'm able to put rounds where I need them. So if I can do it, pretty much every average Joe can. All you do is pull the trigger on the double action. So it's like shooting a semi-auto with a longer draw. And if you want to go for accuracy, you've got the single action option available. So I'm really liking this, and I've had it for a while. They run between $5,000 and $2,000 depending on the model and the condition and all that stuff. But I think I paid $6 something for this, which was a great investment. You can't get a modern revolver for less than $6 now, and this one's got history, plus it's reliable and accurate. So great home defense gun. The 45 ACP is a hell of a man stopper. So I mean, these are full metal jacket, but you can get this will fire the hollow points and whatever else too, as long as it's not a plus P. I haven't tried plus P in here. I've read that they're not made for that, so just stick with your standard loads if you're going to use this. But yeah, I highly recommend getting one of these. Video's not over, so don't get discouraged. We'll do some more shooting, but I just figured I'd kind of throw my 2 cents in there, so if you got any questions on it, hopefully that answered a few. But all right, now we'll get back to the shooting. This will kind of be what I just did, about 20 yards starting. This is probably about 18, because we got a little spring over there, and we're kind of pansies and don't want to get muddy. So he's gonna do a reload on the run at the second target. So go ahead whenever you're ready. Walk forward. We still got a live one, but we'll figure that out later. Alright, so we ended at about 5 yards, and he fired 11 rounds because one didn't go off for whatever reason. We're going to figure that out in a second. 3, 4, 5, it looks like 6, 7, 8, 9. So unless you hit doubles, which, 10. So you only missed 1, which isn't bad. It looks like a double, but it just kind of tore the paper. I don't know, we'll just say 10. So you actually hit more than I did. What'd you think of the handling?
Real good.
So, I mean, you started out carrying the old 38 Model 10s when you were working.
Yeah.
That thing just feel like a bigger Model 10?
Yeah, it feels like my older 357 Magnum.
Yeah, just handles the same.
6-inch barrel. So.
Yeah. Yep. So, yeah. I guess now we'll kind of do some more fun tactical shooting, and we'll keep the video going because you can't shoot this enough. I have plenty of ammo, and it's fun as hell to shoot. It's hard to get all these empty ones in there. All right. Yep. So I had one misfire out of the Silver Bear stuff. That's this. The primer's been struck. I'm just going to hold it here for a little bit because I just hit it twice. Try hitting it a third time. Okay. So it's just probably a light strike on the double action, because then when I did the single action it worked. Yeah, okay. Still not bad. I don't care. It's cheap ammo. It works. So now we got all 6 taken care of. Alright, I'm going to do kind of the same thing, walking up. I'm going to try to speed it up a little bit and kind of do a jog. And I'm also going to do it one-handed. So we're going to see how that goes. One-handed double action. So. Nothing. Didn't hit a single one. So one-handed double action is kind of a bust. Now we'll go back right here. Go about 12 yards, and I'm going to try single action with one hand, because I'm kind of curious to see if I can still do it. So one-handed. That one was me, totally. Should be it, just to make sure. Alright. So single action one-handed, it's not bad. Obviously not as good as two hands, but this one, don't worry about that. I screwed up on the grip. I felt that one. With the rest of these, again, it's a center mass shot at about 12 yards. Pretty happy with it. I'm going to try to do running again, but I'm going to try to do more of the single action, see if I can finagle that while I'm running. So, it'll be interesting. So, back to the spring that they hit. Hands are all sweaty, so it might slip. Well, I kind of ran diagonal towards it. I only hit one, which is the last shot, from like a 45-degree angle coming up. So it's really kind of difficult to do a single action while you're on the run and then get back on your target. It's probably not the gun's fault. Probably if I train more with it, it might not be this bad, but just kind of showing you different shooting styles that may have been used. So now we're going to, yeah, what should we do?
Shoot from the hip.
Are you kidding me?
No.
All right, you can do that. Old man's insisting on doing shooting from the hip double action starting at about 15 yards. He's gonna walk up to the target. So we'll see how this goes, if he can hit anything. Go ahead whenever you're ready. That's not from the hip.
Let's do that over again.
Yeah, you done goofed. Okay, we're gonna do that over because he didn't exactly go from the hip. Just right above your holster. Not a single hit. Now you're really done goofed. Look at that. You know what? I'm gonna give that a try, but first we got to reload all these clips because we just ran out. I'll show you how to do that, a little tool and everything. Show you how to unload and load these again so you can reuse them. These were meant to be discarded, but since my pockets aren't endless, I need to reuse these. So you get this little tool with them. I got this on eBay with the clips. You just put it over the round. It holds all 6 of them too, all the empties. First one's always the biggest bitch. And you just twist. 5, 6, and then we'll take it over here and I'll show you how it works. You just dump it in the, and then to load the clips up, you just put the rims in. It's pretty easy. Newer clips might be a little bit harder, but and voila. Now we have to do that for all these, so I'll turn the camera off and not bore you guys to death. Alright, I'm going to start the single action. Oh, I got one. Look at that. Oh, we'll go back 5 or 6 more, why not? It's kind of fun. See if I can oh, that was high. Okay. So I got 2 hits on that one. Yeah, so even firing from the hip, you know, you've got lethality at about 12 yards. It's kind of fun. All right, what do you want to do now? Try the kneeling. That's it. So you got 2 hits that I saw. Oh, 3 because you got up high. So 1, 2, 3 for those hits. So kneeling's not a good thing for that pistol. But, alright, so we'll conclude the video really quick. I'll kind of just go through a couple things, you know, thoughts, all that stuff. It's a really nice gun. I mean, like I said before, give you the history. So it's got history and it's practical. So you really can't beat it. I love this thing. If you get a chance to get one, you see one at a gun show and somebody doesn't know what it is, you know, make sure you look at the hilt, U.S. Army model 1917, make sure it's still got the original cylinder in it and whatnot. What's cool about these too is like the cylinder looks all loose, so if you're looking at a gun and the cylinder's loose, don't get discouraged. Because when you pull this back, and right when you pull the trigger, it tightens up. It's weird. Colt made their design like that, because now it won't move at all, so it lines up. But it doesn't line up until the trigger's all the way back, so it can be right here, and it'll still be wobbly as shit. But when it's lined up and the trigger's all the way back, it'll lock up. So that's another little caveat. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. It's always fun to make videos about these old war horses, no pun intended. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you got any questions, feel free to ask. I love these things. You can see right there the marking on the top. Probably should have put that at the beginning. I forgot it was there. So yeah, appreciate you watching. Go ahead and like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.